That Super Bowl game yesterday, folks, was a joke. Let's do it! All right, folks. I'm your host, Richard. Welcome back to another episode of Hard Hat Conversation. Please like, subscribe, and comment. That'll help me out, folks. Today is Monday, February the 10th, 2025. I hope everybody had a good weekend. My weekend was okay, except for this Super Bowl that I got to talk about real quick. But we're going to get through this real quick, folks. Just a couple of things I just want to point out to it. I hope some of you that enjoyed it, and I'm not one of those. I'm one of those that I was very disappointed this year, and it seemed like it's getting worse. So let's dive into it. Like again, I'm your host, Richard. This is Hard Hat Conversations. I'm stationed here in beautiful Cleveland, Ohio. Let's get into it. You know I like to go to my notes, folks. Those who follow me, I like to go to my notes. So let me go to them. First of all, the Super Bowl sucked. I'm going to use that word. I haven't used that word in a long time. It really sucked. And some of the highlights of it is not both teams, but the one team, the Kansas City Chiefs. They just didn't show up, folks. I have no explanation on that. You know, I predicted them to win. I'm one of them. I knew it was going to be a hard-fought game. At least I thought it was. But it looked like Kansas City came there, and I don't know, was it the glamour or whatever? I can't explain it. Maybe you can explain it to me. Comment in there and let me know what happened to the KC, because they had everything going their way, the momentum and everything. The fanfare, everything. They was the favorite. But Philly came in there as united, and if you watch the pregame, you can see all of them dressed the same as they was walking in. I think that was pretty cool. And the Eagles came in with a message like, you're not going to beat us this time. This is a different team, different coach, and we're ready for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm going to keep running through this sorry Super Bowl, folks. The halftime show. Some of you liked it, some of you didn't like it. I'm one of them that didn't like it. I know who Kendrick Lamar is. I'm not a big fan. I think I like one of his songs. Like I said, I'm an older cat. I love rap music, actually. But I like good rap music with the beats and stuff and some of the lyrics. It'd be nice if I can understand them. Maybe I'm getting a little too old and can't keep up with it. But I think my hearing was still good when I last checked it. So maybe it's not just my hearing. Maybe it's the artists themselves, you know. They don't really want you to hear them rap. They just want you to hear just a little bit, so you can't say they can't rap. But come on, y'all. Y'all can do a little better than that. Come on. This is the Super Bowl. You got a lot of older folks out there, kids, and then you got a lot of people that's not into that type of rap. So, you know, let's get somebody that's not hating on him. You know, he's making money. He got his followers out there. And that's fine and dandy, but this is the Super Bowl. We're talking about worldwide, you know. We're not talking about some little concert let me just use a little concert in Texas or somewhere where he's just doing his own private show. Because the way it looked like to me, he was just doing a private show. But that's my opinion. So, you know, this Hard Hat Conversations, we're here to make opinions and we're here to give solutions. So if you want to look for one of those entertainment shows, you're going to have to go to TikTok and flip some of those short videos and laugh a little bit. Because right now we're trying to get a little serious here and try to learn some stuff. We can laugh a little bit too, but most of our content is about trying to find solutions to some certain problems and talk about what's going on in today's world and local as well. Like I said, I'm stationed here in Cleveland, Ohio. So let's get back into this Super Bowl. I didn't like that halftime show. The dancing was okay. I just think it was a little bit over the top. I know it's Black History Month, and some people want to make a point with Black History Month. Okay, that's fine and dandy, but make that point every month. Don't just showcase it on on Black History Month in a television show. Come back in the neighborhoods and speak that message if you want to really get it out there. Just to not do it on the stage where you performing. Because a lot of people are not going to take it serious. And let's get a lot of our well-to-do folks back in those poor neighborhoods and speak positive and share some of that wealth and share some of that opportunity down and build up some of those neighborhoods. You're not going to fix everything, folks, but at least start somewhere. I think if you start in one neighborhood, fix one street at a time, just like you fix one person when they're on drugs or something, one person at a time. How come the leaders, especially the minority leaders, I'm calling you out because that's where we got a lot of problems in the minority neighborhoods, the majority of them, and they got over 50% of poverty and crime and stuff. I know the other neighborhoods have their little petty crime, but we're talking about epidemic levels, folks. And we keep dancing and singing around it. We keep putting band-aids on it. I know we can't fix everything, folks, but every time somebody get in that office or get in some type of power, we need to start telling the truth and not half truths. And we're not here to beat up one group against another. We're just here to get some solutions. But there's those out there that just want to keep their power and they want to keep the chaos going. And we all know that. If you don't believe that, then you're hiding under the rock. There's some people that benefit from chaos, and there's and don't want to fix some things, and they have the means and opportunity. So I'm calling, since it's the Super Bowl, I'm calling out my athletes, especially ones that come from those torn up neighborhoods. Get with some people. Be careful of some of those non-profit groups. I'm not saying all of them bad, but just be careful and just come down and do something on your own. Get a couple of your friends or family members and come down and just build something. Donate $1 million and fix that one street up and build some houses and say, hey, I'm going to pay for half of the house. The house costs $150,000. I'm going to pay half of it, and then I'm going to put some working people in that house, that works. Not Section 8, folks. I'm talking about people that work that just need a hand up. Because those people that work, they do need a hand up, not just the ones that don't work. The ones that's working every day, they need a hand up. So just come on down in there and just get your hands dirty and give back. What's wrong with that? And here's, you can write it off or whatever. I don't care. It's about you coming in and uplifting and helping somebody because you got extra means. You got a talent or education or because everybody can't do what you do. Everybody's not going to escape out of there without help. So you can help that way instead of just giving away free food, free coats, and that's fine to do that. But help the working poor so they don't have to get in those predicaments where they have to ask for welfare and stuff like that. That's all I'm saying, my athletes and actors and stuff. Come on back down in the hood and help out. You ain't got to give people direct money and stuff, because we know some people are foolishly wasted on bad things. But I'm just giving you some solutions, there's people that need homes, and they just need a 15-year tax cut, like I said in my other podcast, because the only ones getting that is people that's buying those $300,000 or $400,000 houses, which the majority of us can't afford. So let's do a program like that. Get with some of your rich buddies and do that, and take a couple of millions out of that $100 million. You can write it off, folks. Come on now, y'all know y'all can do this, and give back a little bit. Help your fellow man out. Okay. Another thing on the Super Bowl, the commercial sucks. I usually love the commercials. They make me laugh and all that. And I watched a lot of these commercials. A lot of them was political. Some of them was dumb. And some of them just like, just not funny at all. So that's my take on the Super Bowl, folks. So I'm going to get on off of that. Congratulations, Philadelphia Eagles. Way to go, team. Way to be professional. I know some of the fans got in the streets and act like some fools. And you always going to have fools in a crowd of goodness. So let's not beat up the whole fans of Philly. They celebrating it. You always going to have a couple of knuckleheads. But that's okay, because we know that's everywhere. All right? Next thing I'm going to go to is my Black History Month. I got to do a little notation. Black History Month. Hey, guess what? I'm black, so I got to talk about it for a minute. And I want to talk about it for a minute. Not that I have to talk about it, but I want to talk about it for a minute, and I want to educate people as well, include myself, you know. So let me go to my notes, folks. Give me a minute. Just one thing real quick on Alexander Miles. I'm going to repeat the name. You can Google it and look it up, folks. Everything I find, you can find it on Google, or I'll give you the source where I got it, newspaper or whatever. I'm not making up stuff. I don't have time to tell half truths anymore. I'm too old for that, folks. We're trying to get solutions. We're not trying to play no game out there. Alexander Miles, in 1887, guess what he invented, folks? Black man. The automatic elevator doors. You know those doors that go. He started that. Of course, they evolved over the years, with different materials. But he started that. He's like, wait a minute. It'll be a little more safer if we just have automatic doors. Back then, it's probably no touch. So he did that. Alexander Miles, 1887, invented the automatic elevator doors. All right, folks, let's keep it rolling. Let's go to school vouchers. I heard Donald Trump talked about it and other folks was talking about it. I had one daughter, folks. She had the opportunity to have a school voucher. She got elected in the lottery. I think this was George Bush was president, the son. And I was able to get one of them vouchers. And I was able to send her to a Catholic school, even though I'm not Catholic. I grew up in the public schools. I went to them. The public schools was great when I went to them. But back when she started going to them in the early 90s, because my daughter's 31, folks, I'm older cat, things would start getting rough, in the early 90s and stuff like that. So I want to try to give her a leg up. I wasn't making a lot of money then. And I'm still not making a lot of money, especially with these prices. But I was able to get her one of those vouchers, and I didn't know nothing. I was a young man. I was in my 30s, man. I was just learning. And I still had to pay a percentage of it. And I believe that she got a good education. She went to college, never finished college. That was a disappointment. But, when they get older, you lose control of them. But at least I planted the seed. At least I gave her somewhere to go. So I think there was always problems in the schools. You got big problems in public schools, and then you still got the little small things in the private school. But back then they was able to still control it to a certain percentage. Today I don't know what's going on. I think all schools are in trouble, especially with this internet and these cell phones where kids can see anything and hear anything, get their hands on anything. And it's so dangerous out there, folks. I pray for those people that got little kids right now, because it's tough out there, because you can try to raise your kid the right way. As soon as they out of your sight, the world will get a hold to them and snatch them up. And it's a dangerous place. And I don't mean just by killing, just by seeing what people do and hearing the words and stuff like that can influence your child. So just all I can say is keep telling your child today, if you're raising a kid, keep telling your child to do the right thing, keep enforcing it, and hopefully that stay in when they get in a predicament where they want to do something stupid, or someone else they with want to do something stupid, where they can make that good decision and say, I'm just not going to do it because it's wrong. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And if them friends or whatever get all up here and say you ain't a friend, you sorry, or call your name, call them, that means you're doing something right. Your kid is doing something right. So, just keep that in thought. Some people don't like the school voucher because they saying it's taken away from the public school. And parts of that is true. They're going to use some of those tax dollars. I like to talk about my tax dollars. They're going to use some of those tax dollars. They've been doing it with remember they brought in what is those schools called? Are they still around? I can't even think of the name of those schools. They had a lot of controversy about those schools. Ooh, I can't. I'm sorry, folks. If you can't know the name of those schools that came around earlier, Light Scribe comment. It was some school where they give money to, and they go to those schools, and a lot of them didn't work out. They were just taking money and stuff like that. Not saying all of them, but a lot of them. Maybe to come back to me. The part I like about school vouchers, folks is that poor people that don't have the means to go to these suburban schools that's halfway decent, and they can have a choice to send their kids anywhere they want to. I know some people say that, like I said, they're going to take away some of the resources, but we can make that up in other ways because we got to give our kids a fighting chance. You know, if you keep sending them to the same factory and the same shoe coming out with the same defect or whatever device it is, then we got to tweak it a little bit, you know. Maybe we should try it for a while, folks, and if it don't, we can always go back, right? So let's try something. Let's give our babies a chance, because there's a lot of poor folks out here that don't want to send their kids to some of these public schools. They want to send them and mingle with some of the higher schools with higher incomes and stuff, where the kids are a little bit more mannered and have more means and stuff. Not saying all poor kids are bad, because I was poor, but I wasn't no bad kid. But you folks know what I mean, you know. Give them an opportunity to see other things than just the regular hood stuff, you know. And you never know, it can change a kid's mind. You might not see it at that point, but later on down as they get older, you know, that can affect them and say, well, you know what, I saw this when I was 10 years old. I always wanted to be this and that and do this and not do this and not do that. So I like school vouchers, and like I said, if it don't work, we can always go back. So when I say about solutions, you know, we always trying different things in our own lives every day. So let's not count out and say, oh, it's going to end the world if we change and do this. Some change is good, folks. And our education system is in trouble, folks. And we know this. And, you know, so we got to work on it. All right? Thank you, folks. To my next topic real quick, folks. It's a Monday. Metro Health System. I was reading a little article about it, and I didn't know Metro Health System here in Cleveland, Ohio. That's Metro Health System. I'm sorry, folks, here in Cleveland, Ohio. That's a non-profit hospital. Now, you know, if you listened to my episode before, we talked about non-profits, where they get a lot of tax dollars, you know, a lot of private donations, stuff like that. So it's a different entity than a private, where they have to create something. So I was just looking up this one lady. She wasn't the last CEO. They just got another one, but her name was, I hope I say her name right. I hope I don't butcher your name, man, but I'm trying. I went to Cleveland Public School, so give me a break. Arika Steed. I think she was the CEO. I got this from Signal Cleveland. Yeah, Signal Cleveland, a newspaper online, folks. Signal Cleveland. Metro Health, Erica Steed, she's the CEO, black lady, from 2022, 2024. The reason I say it because she's a black lady is because she's suing them. They let her go, and she's suing them for racial discrimination, folks, and raised concerns about executive ranks and missing public records at Metro. So those are a couple of things. It might have been a few more, but those are a couple of things that pointed out to me that she was going against Metro Health. So she's saying they let her go because she was racial discrimination within executive ranks and missing public records. That's from Signal Cleveland. That's one of her concerns. So she's suing them, folks. Now, remember, it was all in the news about the other CEO right before her, a couple of years before her. His name, sorry, sir, if I butcher your name, is Akram Boutros. Akram Boutros. He is still suing them for, it was all on the news for defamation of character at Metro. Now, remember, Metro it has a board. It's a non-profit, so they get money all over the place in tax dollars, folks. They said that Akram Boutros said he was let go after learning he gave himself a $1.9 million in bonuses. He gave himself $1.9 million in bonuses. Now, there's some other facts, folks. You got to go read that. I didn't write it all down. But he was defending himself, saying that something what to the fact that he deserved that, and plus he gave employees bonuses as well, not just himself. And he said the board of Metro didn't like that, so he's in the process of suing them now. I think part of it is defamation of his character and stuff like that. It was all on the news. So I looked up. I wanted to know who runs Metro Health, and like I said, it's board members. It's a non-profit public health care system. It's not like Cleveland Clinic. It's a non-profit public health care facility. And guess how much they made in 2023 as a non-profit? Non-profit. Non-profit. I got to keep saying that so you guys can look up non-profit, right? They made 1.82 billion. I repeat, look it up. Signal Cleveland, folks. 1.82 billion in 2023, folks. A non-profit. Now, I just put that out because you can look that up on their own webpage. They'll tell you they have to show their records on how much they made. It's a non-profit, right? So they do have to disclose some facts. They won't disclose how much their board members make. They won't put that on. That's not public. So, what do you say about that? You know, it's a non-profit. Anytime you get tax dollars, everything should be public. That's my opinion, folks. That's hard-hat conversation opinion. Anytime they take my money, your money, and everybody else's money, everything should be out in the open. That's why we're having that problem with Donald Trump up in office right now. He decided to go mess with some of those other agencies like USA Aid and some of these other places where they're giving out all this money to these different countries for these weird, and I think some of them are weird, like condoms in Afghanistan. I might have mentioned the wrong country, how to use this and that, and all kind of stuff with our tax dollars. So we have the right, we should see the list of things that they're doing with our tax dollars. That should be open to the public. Actually, if they're using our tax dollars, they should send us a big list of where a lot of our tax dollars are going. Something to think about, folks. I shouldn't have to go get a lawyer, or I shouldn't have to fill out a form. They should automatically send that. Just like the school, they should automatically send where our property tax dollars are going exactly. What's the salary of the people that's running the nonprofit and the schools and all that. We know people have to get paid. We know they have bills. We know somebody has to do the paperwork and stuff like that. But sometimes, folks, if you don't have any checks and balance, people start paying themselves a lot of money. And that money start getting smaller, and guess who suffers? The people that money's supposed to go to help, whatever the situation is. So let's keep that in mind, folks. You know, let's keep that in mind. We have to have checks and balances, just like you have to check your checkbook. If you don't check your checkbook and have enough to pay your light and gas bill, guess what's going to happen, folks? It's going to get cut off. So we got to do the same thing with these people. You know, they always tell everybody, they're good as telling us to join in and help with the fight. You know, they always tell the low man and low woman, we need your help, and we need your tax dollars. We need you to participate, cut back. Well, this time we want y'all to cut back. We want y'all to cut back every time. So that means we can get more resources and more money, folks. So don't be afraid to tell them to cut back. Call your councilmen, call your senators, call everybody that is elected, that represent you, and using your tax dollars and feel that you're not giving those services. And if they don't like it, then vote them out and they move on and go get a real job. Go make something like we do, you know. If you don't like us asking where our tax dollars going and where you voting to spend them, then get out the hot kitchen. You know, go get a real job, you know. So I think that might be all I have for you tonight, folks. Like I said, stay safe. These food prices is crazy. Don't blame one man for everything. Blame all of them. because they all into it. Because if you look at all their records, all of them filthy rich, like I said before. So let's stay on them, folks. We got abandoned houses in these poor cities. East Cleveland, Cleveland. Maple Heights hurting. Garfield Heights hurting. Palmer's hurting. You know, Lorraine is really hurting. Lorraine out there, Lorraine, Ohio, you know, that big old raggedy steel mill out there. Nobody's doing nothing with that. Lots of people lost their jobs out there, you know. People are hurting, folks. You know, everybody can't be on welfare, so we need to create some jobs. We got to get on some of these companies like Walmart and Walmart, Amazon, all of them. They got to pay a fair wage. They're making billions of dollars because there's hardly no competition out there. So let's get on them, folks. Don't feel sorry for them. They're making billions while you suffering. Let's get on these people about our health care, folks. We need a universal health care. We already got one for the poor. We need one for the working poor. Aren't you tired of paying these premiums, folks? And then these premiums that you can't even write off at the end of the year? Car insurance, we need to revamp that, folks. We need to have a grassroots movement on that, folks. These are things that personally affects you. These are not things that's way out there that's out of your reach. These are the things that you pay on every month. We need to do something with these utilities. The gas, especially the water. We need to change that water system because they're charging us too much of water. Life-giving water, folks. If you don't have water, they cut your water off. You'll die without water. There should be no way they cut your water off, folks. See, these are the things that we need to fight for. And we worried about what he say and she say, and we worried about some rich person up there crying about this and that. Man, we need to worry about us, folks. We need to worry about us. Think about it, folks. I know I'm repeating myself, but sometimes you got to repeat yourself so it can sink in. Because I have to repeat myself. When I read something, folks, I got to read it a few times so it'll sink in, you know. We paying for water, folks. And if you don't pay for life-giving water, they will cut it off, and then you know you're gonna die. If you don't pay for your gas, these high prices, they cut it off. You got people using propane. I just saw on the news here in Cleveland area, folks, some poor old lady was using some propane heaters because she probably can't afford the gas, but even if she on PIP, she still can't afford it. Wind up dying. I don't know if something happened to the propane. They still investigating. It was on the news today. This stuff ain't new. This has been going on, but we worrying about Taylor Swift, not just pointing her out, but just making just making a point. We worrying about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, filthy rich. If the man get out of line, we got checks and balances to slow him down. Come on, folks. Like I said, we got to start worrying about ourselves, our neighbors. These bills that we paying every month, it's ridiculous, man. It's just eating us up, and only a handful of people is eating well. And we struggling. All we doing is fighting each other. Racism, LGBTQ, transgender, what else? The border. You sit up here, can't even feed yourself, worrying about your life, and they got you worrying about that mess. And like I said, get on those other countries that ain't doing nothing for their people. Just like we get on this country, we don't do nothing for us. Get on them. Mexico, Venezuela, who else? Ukraine, all these countries over there. How come they don't come to our aid? How come they don't come over here and give on the poor? Now, this Black History Month. How come they don't give the poor black neighborhoods no aids? Huh? A lot of those countries took a lot of stuff from Africa. Don't get me going. I'm just telling the truth, folks, whether you like it or not. We need aid over here. We don't get no help. And before you say the welfare system, everybody benefits from the welfare system. Everybody benefited from the civil rights law. Women, Asian, all the races, Mexican. All of them should be helping. And another thing, folks, let's keep it real. This is hard hat conversations. A lot of them other races that came over here should say thank you, black people, for letting the dogs bite on you and the fire hoses. Thank you for putting up with Jim Crow laws. Thank you for changing this government to allow us to come over here and prosper. Don't go over here and prosper and then look down on the people that fought the fight. Help them out. That's what we all here for. Because as soon as your group get in trouble, black people are there. We're marching because we understand. Help us out. We're supposed to be all one melting pot. The white churches, the Greek churches, the Asian churches, the Spanish churches. Join up with the black churches. Help out. Caribbean churches. Whatever church it is, help out each other. You're reading from the same book, basically. You're reading from the same playbook. It's the same, folks. The only difference is, it's the people. The books say the same thing. This is Hard Hat Conversations. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a wonderful evening.